tomorrow.
Tomorrow, it's not just any Wednesday, it's October 1st, and we still have those summer-like temperatures into the lower 70s and with mostly cloudy skies. But I'll have more details coming up next.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, top candidates looking to serve the city of Marquette take part in a forum put on by the League of Women Voters. Plus, we have the latest from Lansing as the budget is unlikely to pass by midnight. And there's less than an hour before the U.S. government shutdown. We'll have the latest live from Washington, D.C. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Welcome in. A first look at your forecast. We are closing the book on September, and tomorrow is, of course, October 1st. So for the final conditions for September, we have temperatures into the mid to lower 50s. We do have mostly cloudy skies for tonight, and that will likely carry in to your October 1st. And this is still mild, though. The average high temperature is 60, and we will coast into the upper 60s. So it's a nice treat to start out the month. But we'll talk about how we did in the month of September and how it could affect the fall foliage with this rain-free stretch. More details coming up.
Kelly, thank you very much. Starting off tonight, voters in Marquette had a chance to hear directly from local candidates tonight. A public forum was held for those running for seats on the Marquette Board of Light and Power, as well as the City Commission. Our own John Truitt has more.
As local elections are just around the corner, the League of Women Voters of Marquette County hosted a public candidate forum inside City Commission chambers in Marquette to ask questions of each of the two candidates present who are running for a seat on the Board of Light and Power. Incumbent Margaret Brum is running for re-election against newcomer Carrie Statt, a nurse from Marquette. The candidates were grilled by the moderator on the same energy-related questions, including several questions about clean energy. Another candidate on the ballot, Doug McMahon, never responded to an invitation to the forum. There was also a presentation and explanation of the 9 petitions and ballot initiatives on the 2026 ballot. The second forum of the evening was a chance to hear from the 3 candidates vying for the 2 seats on the City Commission. The candidates are incumbent and former Mayor Sally Davis, incumbent Michael Larson, and challenger Matthew Lutenberger. After the forum, I asked each of the candidates what they believe is the #1 concern facing Marquette.
The #1 issue that comes to my mind is the budget, and it's been pretty stressful the last several years. We've got a great administration that's turning around. We will be looking really good in the future.
Through that, we need affordable housing. We might need to look at issues around child care as well. But first and foremost, I want to listen to residents and really serve the priorities of the citizens of Marquette.
I think the homeless problem, and it's not homeless, it's affordable housing. We don't have a way to get a $200 room anymore, and that hurts us.
In Marquette, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
Lawmakers are still waiting on the final draft of the state budget bills with less than an hour until midnight. It looks like the deadline will be missed, but officials are determined to wait it out. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has the latest on lawmakers' plans to keep the government running without a funding plan.
Tuesday evening, lawmakers failed to pass either party's plan to keep the lights on in
Apologies, folks. That looks to be the wrong video. Why don't we move ahead for just a second, too? President Trump addressing a rare gathering of top military leaders this morning at Quantico Marine Corps based in Virginia. He rallied the troops, but also talked about the new focus for the military. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
Before an unprecedented meeting of hundreds of generals and admirals, President Trump rallied the troops.
To each and every one of you, I thank you for your unwavering devotion to the armed forces and to the country that we've all sworn a sacred oath to defend.
But also shared his vision that defending the homeland should be the military's first priority.
After spending trillions of dollars defending the borders of foreign countries, with your help, we're defending the borders of our country from now on.
He talked about expanding deployments of the National Guard to other U.S. cities, singling out those run by Democratic leaders.
Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within.
Critics of this rare meeting raised concerns about security and also cost, with military officials traveling from their posts around the world on short notice.
There's a little bit of expense, not much, but there's a little expense to that. We don't like to waste it. We'd rather spend it on bullets and rockets, frankly. Defense
Secretary Pete Hegseth delivered remarks ahead of the president, promoting what he calls a warrior ethos and railing against past initiatives focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion.
As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that.
Hegseth also announced a new directive that all combat positions return to the, quote, highest male standard, and he ordered a department-wide review of existing physical fitness standards.
Congress is running out of time to fund the government with less than 1 hour before the midnight deadline. The Senate has rejected not one but two competing funding bills, leaving a shutdown looking all but inevitable at the hour. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon has been following the latest developments and is live tonight on Capitol Hill. It looks like we might be having some trouble reaching Brendan. Oh, there he is. Brendan, good evening. If you can hear me, we'd love to hear what you have for us.
Hey there, Kevin. Yeah, loud and clear. Well, it appears at this hour on Capitol Hill that any last-minute deal is very unlikely as the Senate remains deadlocked and the clock continues to tick. Tuesday evening, lawmakers failed to pass either party's plan to keep the lights on in Washington. The divide comes down to health care. Democrats want to reverse a Medicaid cut, preserve ACA subsidies, and prevent the White House from slashing congressionally approved funds.
Our perspective is healthcare costs are going to skyrocket if we don't reach a deal. We do not want the Republicans to shut down the government because they're unwilling to lower healthcare costs. I want them to understand that Americans cannot take more increases to their healthcare and that it is worth coming to the table and restoring those healthcare investments.
But not all Democrats were unified. Pennsylvania's John Fetterman broke ranks, joining Republicans to support the GOP's clean continuing resolution, saying the priority is simply keeping the government open.
If that happens, that's a sad day for the country. It truly is. Keep the government open, and then keep it open, and then debate and figure out some kinds of compromise. We should add more or extend more health benefits, but that's not the opportunity to shut our government down.
Republicans argue Democrats are dragging out negotiations with demands they call unrealistic.
Democrats may have chosen to shut down the government tonight, but we can reopen it tomorrow. All it takes is a handful of Democrats to join Republicans to pass the clean, nonpartisan funding bill that's in front of us.
The Republicans' clean short-term bill that did not include the boost for the ACA subsidies fell five votes short of the 60 votes needed to advance through the Senate. It did pick up support from two Democrats, including Senator John Fetterman, as well as one independent. The Democratic alternative, which did include those ACA boosts, fell short by 13 votes. Now, again, as the midnight deadline looms here on Capitol Hill, millions of federal workers and everyday Americans across the country are bracing for a looming shutdown that appears inevitable at this point. Reporting live on Capitol Hill for WZMQ 19 News, I'm Brendan Scanlon. Kevin, back to you.
Brendan, thank you very much. All right, let's get back to Michigan now. Lawmakers are still waiting on the final draft of the state budget bills with less than an hour until midnight. It looks like the deadline will also be missed, but officials are determined to wait it out. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has the latest from Lansing.
With less than an hour left until the deadline, lawmakers have yet to pass a budget, but the governor says the government isn't shutting down. Despite the lack of a budget, officials have decided it's business as usual. Offices will stay open, employees will be paid, and schools will continue, but without an official spending plan. The parties have managed to come to an agreement, but say they need more time to iron out the details. The Senate is scheduled to hear testimony on earmark funding Wednesday, but it's unclear when the final product will be delivered.
You've seen this budget process play out in what normally is months and dozens of committee hearings and dozens of public comment opportunities play out in the span of hours, right? 72 hours, 48 hours. We've seen it play out this way. To me, if it was up to us, of course, we'd want to see things done differently.
Again, state offices are expected to remain open and school funding won't lapse until after October 17th. There is no estimate for when a budget will be delivered, but lawmakers say they're working to make it happen as soon as possible. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Your first warning weather forecast with Kelly Rowland is after the break. Plus, bow season officially begins in Michigan tomorrow. We'll hear how hunters can stay safe this season. And if you're planning to travel soon, we have some tips that might make it a little bit cheaper. We're back in 2 minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Looking for a car that won't fall apart on the way home? Bam! Come to John's Auto where cars are clean, run great, and don't smell like french fries. Does your car need a tune-up? Bam! Service department. Do you want your car to sparkle? Bam! Detailing department. Need a quieter sister? Bam! Wait. For the best pre-owned cars, the best service, and the best detailing, come to John's Auto Marquette.
Closed captioning sponsored by Range Bank of Upper Michigan.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub to shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. Step 1, call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. Step 2, our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. Step 3, our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-279-0308. That's 800-279-0308. 800-279-0308 now, before the offer ends.
Pure Outdoor is the first program dedicated to increasingly popular outdoor and eco sports. Individual and adventurous. Journey to the world's most exotic, breathtaking locations. Pure Outdoor.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. This is your final forecast of September. We are actually currently on day 8 of consecutive days without measurable rain. The current record for this year to beat is 11 days. We did that in July the 25th through August 4th. The longest dry stretch for Marquette ever was 28 days back in 1925, March 25th through April 21st. Of course, this is not a big deal for humans, but there are some other impacts, and I know maybe your grass is brown right now. Make sure if you have any mums, please water them because they actually need more water than if we do have the amount of rain that we should have. But we're down about 1/4 inch of rain to round off September. The average temperature 58.8. That's up just about 2 degrees. So it's been warmer than average and it's been drier than average. That does always have its give and take. Like I said, it affects more so the vegetation more than the humans. Drought could actually stress out trees and limit photosynthesis. We don't necessarily have a major moderate or dry patch right now in our drought outlook, but if these conditions continue, we could see it start to affect the fall foliage in areas that aren't necessarily at the peak right now. Trees can actually shed the leaves early to try to conserve water. If we're not getting enough water, the tree itself needs it more than the leaves, so it unfortunately will let them go quicker. So with that being said, the fall color display could be shortened, it could be more abrupt. This isn't as big of an issue here because we do have some of that peak, but in places like Sault Ste. Marie and down towards Escanaba, not like Marquette, we have beautiful fall foliage going on here right now. Again, it could impact it, but still get out and enjoy while we do have beautiful displays across most of the Upper Peninsula. This is going to be great weather to get out and enjoy not only that leaf peeping, but really anything you want to do. Not necessarily sure if the water activities are still that good because the temperature of the water, of course, is getting cooler and cooler. But for anything on land, get the tea times, get any barbecues going still. I mean, it's still going to be a summer-like weekend for the first weekend of October, believe it or not. So quick second here, too. We'll take you down to the tropics. This path of Imelda has changed quite a bit. And, of course, these models are separate for Umberto and Imelda. They don't always take into account how two storms next to each other could interact, but it turns out these are very well behaved and they're continuing to coast further and further away from the United States. But it's getting close to this right here is Bermuda, so we'll see how it impacts. There's a hurricane warning currently for Bermuda, so if you know anyone that's taking a vacation there kind of soon, please let them know and make sure they take precautionary measures from their management facilities there. But temperatures for tonight, this is pretty mild, not necessarily seasonal. It'll be warmer than average, and that's the trend as we close off September. Tomorrow is October 1st. We will have temperatures that reflect as the end of July, early August, especially for the weekend, getting close to 80 degrees.
Kelly, thanks again. Bow hunting season begins tomorrow. WZMQ's Andrew Hands tells us what to be aware of when you're out on the hunt.
Bow hunting season is just around the corner. Kicking off this week with clear skies and warm weather, hunters are eager to get out as soon as they can. Straight Line Archery of Ishpeming plays a crucial role in providing gear, repairs, and training to all levels of archers, especially at this time of year. Owner Shelley Saxwold says, while keeping safety in mind, make sure to carry common sense into the busy season.
This year has been extremely busy, so there's going to be a lot of people out in the woods. And again, it's, safety, be aware of your environment, be aware of who's around you, being aware that, the stuff that you're using can kill you, so you want to be careful.
As compound bows are less likely to cause an accidental injury, crossbows can bring a main concern. Especially when children are involved, proper guidance makes all the difference.
Crossbows, I said, would be more of a concern safety-wise right now than compound. With the crossbow, being as popular it is, there's a lot of kids now that are out with crossbows, and it's just making sure that they're being safe and that they can hold it up and that they're not putting anything in harm's way.
During the bow season, orange gear is not required, making the factor of awareness that much more important.
In bow season, you don't have to wear orange, so it's rifle season that you have to wear orange, so it's, being aware of what you're shooting at or what you're looking at.
The season will run from October 1st through November 14th. Hunters should make sure that their license is up to date and gear is properly maintained to avoid further issues. Reporting in Ishpeming, Andrew Hands, WZMQ 19 News.
Mike Ludlam has your look at sports. When we come back, he'll start with the highlights from tonight's volleyball matchup between Houghton and Ishpeming. We'll be right back.
Shop hundreds of lazy boys at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Kick back in comfort in an industry-leading recliner. Choose from all fabrics, colors, and sizes with prices starting as low as $4.99 plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture in Houghton today.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Shelter Logic offers a great selection of storage solutions. From easy-to-assemble canopies to durable steel frame shelters and garages. They offer protection for vehicles, boats, and yard equipment with easy drive-in access. Right now, get this 10 by 20 foot shelter for only $219.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Getting ready, we all have our routine. Finding an outfit. Fixing your hair. And all the other little touches. Gum, check. Keys, check. Phone, check. But of all the things you remember to bring with you, naloxone could be the most important. It can reverse an opioid overdose. You can get it without a prescription in most states, and it's really easy to use. If you or someone you know is at risk for opioid overdose, naloxone could save their life. Keep it on you and at home. For more information about naloxone, visit cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
The UP is a great place, but sometimes the weather changes quickly. You'll always be ready with the WZMQ 19 mobile app. Available free right now from the App Store. Your local weather power tool from WZMQ 19.
Number
The team in the first Upper Peninsula Sports Writers and Sportscasters Association Division 4 volleyball poll. The Hematites were home tonight, taking on the Houghton Gremlins. Pick up the action in the second set. Houghton won the first. For the Hematites, the near court, Marie Salisbury will set Maya Hemmer, and boom, that one's down for the kill. Ishpeming had a 7-5 advantage. A couple points later, and after a little bit of pinball action at the net, we will have Ishpeming at it again as Janessa Eagle, Marie Salisbury to Brittany Piotrowski with a cross-court kill. Ishpeming regains the lead at 8-7. Houghton responds. Kia Markham, Lydia Williams, J.C. Sleeman, mishandled just a bit there by a Hematite. Gremlins back within one at 9-8. Again, for the Gremlins, it'll be Sleeman, Williams to Kate Pilfus, gets that one to work, and that tied the score at 9. The Gremlins won this set 25-23, but Ishpeming regrouped and won the match 3-1. Let's go to Marquette, where the Sentinels were taking on Gwynn. We're in the first set and already bonus volleyball. For Marquette, Claire Parent is going to get the ball from Harlow Davis, and that one works for a point, and Marquette has a 28-27 lead. Set point for the red and white, Michaela Delmont, Sammy Sales, Allie Mallet with the tip, and the Marquette defense can't recover. We're tied at 28. Gwent regained the lead on a Marquette violation. Now set point for the Model Towners. Kira Doherty is going to hit that one just a little bit long for Marquette, and Gwyn was quite excited to win the first set, 30-28. So let's go to the second set. Grace Filizzetti, Lily Demuse will get the rare point for the libero as she hits the line there, and the Sentinels jumped out to a 4-1 lead. Model Towners came back to even the score thanks in part to an ace by Adeline Derwin. This match took all 5 sets. Gwyn earns the road victory 15-13 in the fifth to win it 3-2. In the annual breast cancer fundraiser volleyball match between Forest Park and West Iron County, the Trojans won the match 3-0. All the scores were 25-15. The young lady holding the volleyball is Ava Fisher of the Trojans. She recorded her 1,000th kill during the match. Turning to the scoreboard, Norway a winner tonight over Barker Viharis 3-1. North Dickinson does the same to Stevenson 3-1. Dollar Bay a 3-1 winner over Ontonagon. Kira Isaacson had 16 kills for the Blue Bolts. Kearney NATO blanked Superior Central 3-0. A very good match at Negaunee. The Miners come back and win in the fifth set 15-11 to take that match 3-2. Wakefield waltzed past Lance 3-0. It was Mia Nordstrom with 15 kills helping Jeffers defeat Ironwood 3-1. And Baraga was better than Ewan-Trout Creek, also 3-1. Now let's go to cross country. We had 2 cross country meets combined into one this afternoon at Pete Wara Park in Negaunee Township. One part, the Negaunee Invitational portion of the Western Peninsula Athletic Conference meet. The second was the Mid-Peninsula Conference meet. Negaunee's Kira Waterman on the left and Sela Niska of Houghton on the right grabbed the early advantage heading into the woods for the first of 2 loops. And those two were still next to each other for a while, but in the end of the 5-kilometer race, Waterman pulled away to win in a time of just under 20 minutes, 40 seconds. Niska was second, followed by 2 of her Gremlin teammates. On the board, Niska was about 14 seconds behind Waterman. Her teammates Holly Cook and Nora Woodruff were 3rd and 4th, with Negaunee's Nora Korsman 5th, 21:47.4. Now we're combining the scores into just one page. Houghton was your winner with 23, followed by Negaunee, 5 points better than Calumet. Hancock was 4th, and Westwood was 5th. Now let's go to the boys' race. We'll catch up with them about 200 yards after the start. Negaunee senior Henry Plummer took the early command. He was followed by most of the teams from Jeffers, Houghton, and Westwood. By the end of the first loop, Plummer was in second place behind Jeffers' Cameron Anderson. Negaunee coach Vicky Papour is caught on camera, and she didn't know it. Cameron Anderson pulled away in the second loop and crossed the finish line about 30 seconds ahead of Plummer. Jeffers is having a very good season under coach Sam cupola. Taking a look at the numbers here, Anderson 16, 34.8. Plummer 17, 5.1. Then it was Landon Larson of Jeffers, Simon Jacklin of Negaunee, and Kemper Gerhardt of Ishpeming. On the Negaunee Invitational part of the score, Jeffers was the winner with 42, followed by Houghton, Gladstone, Westwood, and Negaunee. In the Mid-Peninsula portion of the meet, Gladstone was the winner, with Westwood a close second, Negaunee third, and Manistee fourth. In boys high school soccer today, Kingsford and Houghton played to a tie at 1, and Marquette celebrated Senior Day with a 5-2 victory over Marinette. Traverse City blanked Sault Ste. Marie. That score was 8-0. To Major League Baseball. Game 1, wild card, Tigers, Cleveland Guardians. And we'll pick this up in the top of the first inning as Spencer Torkelson puts one into the outfield. Kerry Carpenter comes around from second to score, and that's an unearned run the Tigers will take, leading 1-0. Jump to the bottom of the fourth. Angel Martinez fouls off a Tarek Skubal pitch, and if you didn't follow the ball, you probably didn't want to, especially if there would have been a cameraman behind that. So much for that camera. Then in the top of the seventh, Zach McKinstry with a bunt. That's going to allow Riley Green to score from third base, and the Tigers would take a 2-1 lead. Tarek Skubal pitched incredibly well today. 7 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 14 strikeouts, a career high for him on about 107 pitches. Now in the ninth, things a little goofy. Cleveland had a chance to tie the game, but Will Vest would be able to get a rundown and get the out there. Then the Tigers would be able to get out of it as Kyle Manzardo would fly out, or pop out if you prefer. Tigers win this one by the count of 2-1. Game 2 is tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. These are best of 3 series, but they're all being played in one place because the Tigers are the worst seed at number 6. They both play all 3 of their games in Cleveland. Elsewhere in the baseball playoffs today, Boston off to a good start, defeating the New York Yankees by the count of 3-1. In the National League, it was the Cubs over San Diego 3-1, and the Dodgers were having all kinds of fun against Cincinnati, leading that one 8-0. That was back in the 6th inning. In the National Hockey League tonight, preseason action continues for the Detroit Red Wings, and Detroit raised its record to 3-3 with a 3-1 victory over the Chicago Blackhawks. Goals by J.T. Compher, Michael Bransek-Nygaard, and Lucas Raymond for the Red Wings. Now, coming up tomorrow is a big day in girls high school tennis in the Upper Peninsula as the finals will take place, and the weather should be pretty good for those. The Division II meet will be held in Dickinson County, with most of the finals action taking place at Kingsford High School. And in Division I, the finals will be split a bit. Westwood will have the firsts and seconds, Negaunee will have the thirds and fourths, and all the finals will take place at Westwood High School. We'll be right back.
I thought it was just a rash, but it had a bullseye ring around it. My doctor said it was a tick bite. Luckily, we caught it early.
Ticks found in tall grass around your home can spread Lyme disease and other illnesses, which can lead to chronic health issues. The CDC estimates nearly 500,000 people across the country are diagnosed with Lyme disease each year.
I didn't understand why my brother was having so many asthma flare-ups. Sometimes he couldn't breathe. Turns out a roach problem at home was triggering it.
Allergens left behind by dust mites, roaches, and rodents are a major driver of asthma attacks, especially in children.
When I had a fever, body aches, and fatigue, I never thought it would have been West Nile virus. All it took was a mosquito bite while gardening.
Mosquitoes spread West Nile virus and many other diseases, and they can breed in standing water around your home. Protect your family from pests. Get the facts at pestworld.org.
The Shortlist, a countdown show that's all sports. See the greatest names and the greatest games in all sports. Sports fans love it, and you will too. That's The Shortlist, only from SSN, the Cindy Sports Network.
Escanaba reporter Lily Simmons on WZMQ 19 News. Tonight's sports is brought to you by the Window Store.
Here's a deal you won't want to miss. For a limited time, when you buy 3 windows or doors, you'll get 1 free at the Window Store. You heard that right. Buy 3, get 1 free. Don't wait. This offer ends soon. Give your home a fresh new look with our energy-efficient windows and stylish doors. Call today and start transforming your home with the Window Store. Quality windows, doors, and unbeatable savings. Only at the Window Store.
Welcome back. We are in the final few hours or so, less than 2 hours of September, and things are really looking good. Tonight we'll be into the mid to lower 50s for some, upper 50s for others, and of course there's always a mixed batch with high temperatures, especially in these transition of seasons. But this is very summer-like for us, into the lower 70s into Marquette. We'll still get some mid to upper 60s with some sunshine, but we still will keep things mostly cloudy. So also being with near bodies of water, of course, cloud cover can sometimes mean rain, but we do have nice and clear rain-free conditions not only for the next 48 hours but for most of the start of October, and we're still going to be trending warmer than average. We see it here, the dry, the rain-free, really take advantage of it. It's going to be a beautiful weekend ahead, and we'll continue that rain-free stretch, not really seeing that next best chance of rain all the way until next Tuesday.
All right, Kelly, thanks again. And finally tonight, several hundred film enthusiasts gathered in Greenwich, East London on Saturday to set a record for the largest assembly of people dressed head to toe as a character from some of the most famous films of the last few decades. Dressed as Darth Vader or the stormtroopers from Star Wars, characters from Bridgerton, or imitators of James Bond, they were counted off meticulously by scrutineers as they assembled in the gardens of the capital's Old Royal Observatory. Characters portrayed included Queen Charlotte, Luke Skywalker, Batman, and Indiana Jones. An official from Guinness World Records both proclaimed it a record-setting gathering after 874 fans were counted off. The event was organized to mark 100 years of the historic Elstree Film Studios. There you go, Mike. Plenty of ideas for your Halloween costume. What do you think?
Why, thank you. I need all the help I can get when it comes to that.
Me too, Mike. Me too. That's all for now, everyone. We'll catch you back here tomorrow at 6/5 Central. See you then.
Why AAA? Because you're stuck in a rut, literally.
Because you're out of gas and in a pickle. Because stuff happens. And AAA is the most trusted roadside assistance. Join today at AAA.com.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. With Skyrizi, feel symptom relief at 4 weeks. Many people were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year.